Welcome to the Jaron Jarvis channel. I am Jaron Jarvis. Today, I would like to introduce to you a black point. It was there when I woke up. A fine black point stood out against the white of the wall opposite my bed. I didn't think much of it at first, continuing with my morning routine and making my way to the bathroom to brush my teeth. It wasn't till I came back in that I noticed something was off. Inching towards it, I realized. Instead of clinging to the wall, the black dot was in the center of the bedroom, suspended in midair. I leaned forward, dumbfounded. For a split second, I could have sworn I could hear a faint voice emerging from the blackness. I brushed it off. I didn't really have a choice. If I didn't leave soon I was going to be late. I got dressed, ate cereal and left for work, but the dot never left my mind. As I got in the car, I cursed myself. I'd forgotten to check for any spider webs. It was probably just a piece of dirt or something that had gotten caught. This thought was enough to satisfy me for the rest of the day. Work was the same as always. I hated nearly everything about it. No, hate was the wrong word. I was totally apathetic, which seemed to be the theme here. The drab grey of the office walls, the idle conversation, the piles upon piles of paperwork. It was as though every single scrap of color and life had been surgically removed. Minutes seemed like hours and hours seemed like minutes here. It probably didn't help that I wasn't the most extroverted of people. I had a couple of friends here before, but they've all moved on, leaving me to eat on my own in the break room. I can't blame them. I would leave if I had the chance to. The only reason I was here was my mom. She'd been sick for a while and this job was the only thing financing her care. She was the most selfless, kind, caring person I had ever known, dedicating much of her life to giving me the best childhood she could. This was the least I could do in return. We looked out for each other, I guess. That still didn't help the days go by any easier. By the time I got home, I was practically dragging myself along, aching to sit down and take the weight off. But, there it was. Just visible through the half-open bedroom door. Had it gotten bigger? I sprinted over to my room, almost tripping over my own feet. I surrounded the sphere with my hands, expecting to feel something wire or web, holding it in place. Nothing. I stepped back in amazement at the thing in front of me. Now that it was bigger I could see the movement on its surface. It seemed to pulsate, tiny waves appearing and disappearing in the blackness. It was oddly calming. I must have stayed up for hours, just staring at it. Eventually, I couldn't keep my eyes open any longer and I collapsed onto my bed. I woke up the next morning, dreading work more than ever. Sitting up, I felt every ounce of energy seep out of my body. But it was beautiful. The sphere was gone, replaced with a brilliant whirlpool of vibrant color. It shimmered and glowed in the soft morning sunlight. As if it was acknowledging my observation, it began to expand. It pulsed, growing more brilliant with each second. Soon, it had enveloped my entire room. I was somewhere else now. My eyes struggled to adjust, they didn't seem to believe it either. The sky radiated with blazing purple, illuminating the seas of gold crashing beneath gently. Velvet voices swirled in the still air. Their sweet words bringing me a sense of peace I'd forgotten I had once known. The sand caressed my skin, melting into some deeper level of my being. Stars shone into existence and erupted into supernova in the course of minutes. I must have been shown hundreds of alien landscapes, too glorious for the human senses to comprehend. My body slipped away. Looking down I saw my hands evaporate into oblivion, until I was left with my pure, concentrated essence. How long had I been here? Days? Years? It didn't matter. Time had retreated entirely. It had no place in such a perfect space. Ring backslash. What was that? The sky shuddered ever so slightly. Ring backslash. I looked down to see my phone. A single word emblazoned across the screen, Mum. Ring backslash. Voices entice me to ignore it. To stay and bask in the wonders I have laid witness to. I so nearly listen to them. I answer anyway. Hey, Jamie. Just calling to let you know I love you. I know I might not say it enough, what with everything you do for me. I love you more than anything. Everything was starting to dim. The world around me began to shrink and condense in front of me. Finally, I'm back in my room, staring at the white walls, interrupted only by a fine black dot. I love you too, Mom. See you soon. I placed the phone on the nightstand, with the hands I had just been torn from moments before. Stumbling towards the singularity, I didn't know what to say. I felt I owed it something, an explanation, I suppose. I'm sorry. I'm not done here yet. The thing hummed in agreement. I don't know how I knew, but I did. We'd come to an understanding. I, at least, for now, was bound to this earth, but there would come a day when I was ready to lose myself as a traveler amongst the vast worlds it created. Until then, it remains in my room suspended in midair as an infinitesimal black point, waiting patiently, and I go to work day after day after day. I made the right choice, I know I did, because she would do the same for me.